Hello, everyone. Again, this is Antonio, and I'm coming at you with another exciting video. Now, I want to ask a question. Do some of you believe that America is slowly becoming a third world country? Because some of uh, the crime that we are dealing with in this country is just at an all-time high right now. So I want to know: do you believe that America will be able to recover, or are we dealing with something that's going to morph into just another world? And what we are talking about is restaurants around the country are either closing or they're taking extreme measures to protect their patrons. And this has happened a lot. This is happening a lot. For example, in Oakland, it is happening. In San Francisco, this is happening. Some businesses are closing their doors earlier, and some Walmarts are either closing or they are closing their doors earlier. We are living in a lawless society. You have prisoners, but then you have prison guards and nurses in prisons that's going to jail every day because they're sneaking in contraband into the prisons. I done had prisoners tell me that they make more money in jail than they do on the streets. How are they getting this contraband in the jail? But that's another video for another day. But where we're talking about now is we're actually speaking about
Crime in San Francisco causing yet another business to close down, with the restaurant owner saying he is fed up with
down.
break-ins and that it's time for the city to crack down on crime. Let's bring in David Lee. He's the owner of Korean Mexican restaurant Taqueria. David, terrific hat. Major Yankee story across the bay in Oakland with that perfect game last night. But let's talk about across the bay in San Francisco, where you are right now. You're closing your restaurant. What's going on?
Yeah, I decided to close my restaurant about 2 months ago. We were going to do it till about December, but it decided tomorrow's going to be our last day. I'm fed up with everything that's going on, all the break-ins and crimes that's not getting solved, all the open-air drug problems, all the windows getting smashed from my customers waiting to eat at my restaurant, and then they go back to their car and their window is smashed. So I just don't want to put up with it. I'm major city burnout, and I'm done. Finished.
Is this something that happened gradually, or did you turn around all of a sudden and it was a different city?
I started noticing it right after COVID. We had to start boarding up our windows. I started seeing some lootings here and there. And then within the last 4 or 5 months, it's just gotten really bad. And I don't see it stopping. So it was really gradual, but it came really, really fast.
So, David, what's next for you? Are you going to open up somewhere else, or are you leaving the city entirely?
My plan is to leave California. I really haven't decided where I want to go, New York or Vegas. I've been thinking about a lot of places, but for sure right now, my next step is just kind of take a break from the restaurant world. And I know for a fact there's better opportunities to take my brand and my restaurant out of California. So that's my next step. My first step was to close down and then make drastic decisions. And that one is to leave San Francisco and California.
David Lee, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Sandra?
Okay,
Interesting stuff. Thank you.
As you can see, this is the first restaurant, and this is actually that took place in San Francisco. But this is happening all over the country. This is happening all over the country. Like, you have a restaurant in Oakland, which is a neighbor. You have the Bay Area. La Chevelle restaurant is closing its doors after 38 years. What's happening in the Bay Area, the crime has gotten so bad, the police is understaffed, and these criminals are living lawlessly, where they are able to break in establishments and there is no consequences. There are no consequences. And why is it that like that? I have no idea. But this is in Oakland, La Chevelle restaurant closing its doors as the 38 years. 38 years. Imagine you doing something and this is all you know, and you can't afford to pay your rent anymore because patrons is too scared to come to your restaurant because criminals are breaking into cars outside of the establishment. So you come for a $50 meal but leave with $1,000 bill. Bars. So these restaurants have no choice but to shut down their doors. And think about it. The Bay Area is so expensive to occupy as places. These are becoming ghost towns. Large cities are becoming ghost towns because restaurants and businesses are shattering their doors and they are leaving Oakland and San Francisco and establishment like that because they can't afford for people to keep stealing from them in that capacity. These people are operating lawlessly.
Look, you can make all kinds of videos for the internet, but my advice, don't do one where you poison yourself by using
it's not even registering on anyone's radar anymore. People are not staying in their homes anymore. They're cheating on their spouses. They're doing whatever they feel they can do just to be who they are. And this is not good for the economy. These are people that's out of work. And this is all they know. You don't think that these people have been working?
Has become the latest business in the city to close due to crime concerns. Le Cheval at the corner of Clay and 10th Streets will shut down at the end of this month after 38 years in business. The owner blames crime in downtown Oakland for what he calls his painful decision to shut down permanently. It comes after he laid off workers and cut back on hours in an effort to stay in business.
Time is 5:48. There's also a new
So let's pause that. This restaurant has been in operation for 38 years, close to 40 years. La Chevelle at the corner of Clay and 10th Streets was shut down at the end of this month after 38 years. The owner blames crime for what he calls his painful decision to shut down permanently. In a separate video, he actually said even if he received free rent, he still can't afford to operate because people are not coming to the establishment because people are stealing to the magnitude with no consequences. It's no consequences for a lot of these people, right? It comes after he laid off workers and cut back hours in an effort to stay in business. In his Facebook post, the Tran family said they will be looking for another location to reopen. This is what crime is doing to San Francisco and Oakland as restaurants are no longer able to stay in business. Now, look at this. This is Oakland restaurants said they're on the brink of restaurants say they're on the brink of extinction. Now, I think that before you run me out, I think that you should actually do what some establishments are doing right now, and that is do what's necessary to stay in business. And I think you should get armed security that have a license to kill. Yes, I said it. Because I think thou should not steal and thou should not kill. But if you keep stealing, you need to be extinct. Yes, I said it. Everybody don't deserve to walk this earth. This is my opinion. All right, let's read what it says here. It's a sunny Thursday afternoon in downtown Oakland, and restaurant doors are wide open. Now, think about it like this. The restaurants are open, but the question is, are people going to the establishment because they're open? LED signs flash, advertising Vietnamese and Japanese fare, while the faint buzz of tattoo gun reverberates from Tattoo across the street. Nearby, a man loads his trunk with trays of gaudy pink and chocolate pastries from Happy Donuts, while the punk chick baristas at Timeless Coffee pour espresso steam milk, and settle into their usual cadence. On the surface, this commercial corridor has all the characteristics of a vibrant, walkable Oakland neighborhood. Though most people are aware that the city is beleaguered by property crime, few probably realize that many of the same businesses on this block, which always seem to be brimming with customers, are now begging state and local governments to help them combat theft, restore plummeting revenues, and essentially clean up the city's negative public image. The situation has become so dire, Oakland restaurateurs say is pushing them to the brink of collapse, and it's unclear whether the city will be able to save them. Right? Hyping up the crime here scares people away. All right. City crime departments show that carjackings have steadily risen in the past 5 years, and burglaries at local businesses. Those sensational Instagram accounts capitalize on hundreds of thousands of views by showing, right? And what's wrong with my computer? It's acting up on me. All right, and I'm in the middle of I'm in the middle of trying to do something great here, right? All right, those sensational Instagram accounts capitalize on hundreds of thousands of views by showcasing vehicles getting built or broken into. OPD data shows that these crimes are less frequent in the city compared with pre-pandemic years. In 2019, for instance, reports of break-ins peaked at 12,364 before sharply dropping to 6,231 in 2020. They have steady risen over the past 3 years, reaching levels similar to 2018's numbers, reports of 8,229. It's no way you can sustain a business when those numbers are that high. It's no way I will go downtown Oakland to enjoy the best food in the world if I know that you're going to steal from me. It's no way. And people always talk about, oh, it's so expensive to eat it down, and I mean, so expensive to live in the Bay Area. But the Bay Area got a gray area. It's called theft, and it's going to be extinct. These criminals need to get a grip, get a job. Ryan Dixon, the general manager, managing partner at Calavera, said that frequent break-ins, coupled with the Bay Area's nightmare perception of Oakland, is crippling his restaurant. Patrons from nearby suburbs tell him they don't feel safe walking downtown or taking BART. And they're so worried about the cars being bipped, they'll shell out $60 for an Uber to see a show at the Fox Theater and ultimately skip out on dinner because going out is already so expensive. Subsequently, he says business at the Calavera is down 25% and staff has dwindled from 50 employees to about 30 employees. In the past year alone, Dixon's own car has been broken in 4 times. And though it's a very, very real problem, he admits that he's scared of driving off more potential customers by publicly speaking about it. We want them to feel safe, to be safe. We want their cars to be safe. We want them to come back. Our biggest problem right now is our lack of revenue because of people not coming. He told SF Gate, hyping up the crime here scares more people away. Netto's backyard was so fed up with repeated car break-ins and the city alleged lack of response that it paid out of pocket to lease the parking lot across the street and outfitted it with security guards. Since then, business has improved. Owner Corey Calloway, uh, Callow, McCallow, I've spelled it wrong. People are no longer leaving negative reviews because of break-ins, and patrons have started parking in the lot so they can walk to NATO's sister location, Odin. And that's a terrific thing, right? In my opinion, I am worried. They're worried. And what I think is, my opinion, I think a lot of the people should pool together. And what they should do is they should pool their resources and take matters into their own hands. I don't mean be vigilantes, of course. You should do something similar to what they have done in Philadelphia. Because just like Oakland, across the pond, now I won't say pond, that's not right. Across the world, from Oakland to San Francisco, this cheesecake business, right? What they did was they ordered guards with assault rifles that's hired to protect Philly cheesecake joint. And these guys are walking around with AR-15s. They are not playing any games. This should squash any beefs. A Philadelphia cheesecake restaurant has opened for business now with assault rifle carrying guards because of violent crime plaguing the city of brotherly love, right? A video from the reopening of Jim's West Steaks and Hoagies in West Philadelphia on Sunday shows customers lining up in order to order sandwiches under the watchful eye of a heavily armed security guards. The violence have spiked, co-owner Cortez Johnson told WPVI of the city that has seen a surge of murders, many in the area to the newly reopened food spot. Now, all right, you want people to feel safe and be safe. So when they come out and eat, they don't have to worry about no type of harm, Johnson said. The gun-toting security guards will stand vigilant outside the eatery during business hours from Thursday to Sunday each week, according to WPVI. Our lines are down the block, so while they're standing here in line, connecting with other people you may not know, we have security right here just to keep you safe. Saul Anders, the chief financial officer of Jim West, told the outlet. Now, some people may feel that this is a bad thing. Not I. I actually feel that this is a great thing because people are turning to crime. They are not scared to go to jail anymore. They don't care about jail. They think they're invincible. So if you put one of these good old bullets in their good old ass, I feel good about it. I feel good about it. I feel good about it. All right. If you want to secure your business and you want to make sure everyone is safe, see, a lot of people that's waiting on OPD and SFPD, which is San Francisco PD, they're waiting on them to say their business. You need to understand that the police is spread thin. Not only do they have to watch out for the cat on the roof, they got to go for domestic violence. They got to do so much. So sometimes you need to pay direct security the money to make sure they're walking the lots with the guns, and they need to be at least 5 or 6 security walking around to the many restaurants showing the guns and have permission to use the guns. Do you need to have one of those? Each security should have a camera on their chest. What you call it? A body camera to protect yourself, because a lot of these people do crimes and then want to turn around and sue. So you want to make sure that you are protecting yourself because the way things are going. Kevon Darden, the owner of Presidential Protection Services, said that those working security at the beloved food joint all have military, police, and law enforcement background. And I hope that these guys, to protect themselves, have body cameras. Please protect yourself. Because if you got to pull a bullet in somebody behind, protect yourself. All right. It's not just myself. It's usually other agents who are sworn and certified by the state of Pennsylvania to do security work when they're off duty, he told WPVI. Some customers voiced their support for having armed security guards on the lookout. Safety and good food is always a plus. You gotta make sure your employees feel safe, that these folks are not coming there and robbing people, and you gotta take care of your patrons. Bullets are rust. Yes, I believe that's what it is for some of these people. Mario said he's not a big fan of guns, but I get it. If it deters crime, I can't complain. Well, the criminals got guns, Mario. The criminals got guns. And I can tell you this, they're not going to come and ask you if you got a gun because they got their gun. But another customer, William Kane, said he was worried about the optics in the city, where a nearby gas station also made headlines for hiring AR-15 toting guards. Now, I did a video about what's going on in Detroit with a guy. What he did was he hired armed security for his gas station because he got tired of it being robbed. And sometimes the gas stations is probably some of the worst places to go at night, and you just don't feel safe. Some women have to drive all the way home on E because all these guys is hang out at stores over and over and over, acting like they ain't got nothing to do. And some of these dudes got kids at home, but you want to hang out at the store. Yes, bullets are rust, please. It's a little overkill, even if you have armed guard. Tell the people in San Francisco that, William. Tell the people in Oakland that, William. Because their restaurants are about to shut down because of the crime. These people think they are invincible, breaking the people's cars, stealing the cars, the Kia boys, the Hyundai boys. Man, please. In 2015, the eatery was targeted by armed robbers who made off with $215 in cash stolen from the register and customers. The Philly Vice reported. I guarantee you this, they're going to be thinking twice to know that these guys are not going to act nice. Stop thinking that you can go and harm people and it's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay, right? So, this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, subscribe, as we will see you in the next video. And once again, we will see you next time.